Today, I turned this into this. Well, actually, it took about a couple of weeks. So we all know vanilla trees can be better. You can get a mod, you can watch a tutorial, but it was when I was walking in the outside world that I looked up and obviously I thought a block game. I thought it would be amazing to walk through a wood and see all the branches and see the different canopy layers and the light coming through the gaps in the tree tops. So in this video, I'm going to make a wooded area or a wooded biome and use science and lasers. Well, actually, the data from smart people firing lasers at stuff, trees in this case, to make a woodland. LiDAR is when qualified people fire specialist lasers at things and get images back. It is a method for determining ranges by targeting an object or a surface with a laser and measuring the time for the reflected light to return to the receiver. And then you get accurate data back, which you can use to build an image. Let's take a look at this redwood. It records the data from the tree and plots that information on a map. You can see all the data points can be combined to make an image of a tree. It just so happens that we have a place called Witham. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. We have a place called Witham Woods, which is one of the most researched woodlands in the UK. And they have a recent study on carbon that gives us LiDAR or laser images of the leafless tree canopies. So their shape, size, rough location in relation to each other. And we can use this data to help us build a better woodland. It's not going to be exactly the same as the study. I'm not intending to make a one-to-one replica of this woodland, but I want to use it to copy kind of the species scale and look at the density of trees. So the size of the area of study here was about 140 meters by 110-ish. I ended up scaling this area down in the end for several reasons. It turns out that fences are one of the most laggy blocks in the game. I think there's a bug for it. There's a lot of trees, and as you'll see from the leaf count later, this was a sensible choice. So let's choose our blocks and our palette for each individual tree. When choosing leaf blocks, I was torn between color and actual leaf shape and size. Do I choose for color or leaf shape accuracy? Color kind of was decided for me because I wanted 3 different shades of green for the main trees, so shape took it. And azalea has a palm-shaped leaf, just like a sycamore. The ash has a pinnate leaf with lots of little leaflets. So acacia is the ideal choice, but because of color, it's quite similar to oak. I went for birch leaves so they would contrast. Oak leaves are obviously oak leaves. I also use mango leaves for some random trees. They could be cherries or limes, maybe, I don't know. Sycamore has a smooth grey-brown bark that has a cubical grain when it gets older. So I chose the dead fire coal for the older stems, andesite blocks for the smoother stems, and also andesite walls for the secondary branches. I used jungle fences and azalea leaves. Next up, we have the ash. For the ash, I'm going to use acacia wood. I'm also going to use andesite walls for the secondary branches. I did toy with using sandstone, but it just doesn't look right. And I'm going to use probably spruce fences for the secondary, for the branches, and birch leaves. For the oak, I'm going to use oak logs. I'll use granite walls, cheers Scar, and spruce fences and oak leaves. Maybe some oak fences, but I think the spruce fences look better. This woodland was a former hazel coppice, so I'm going to have some failed and lapsed coppices around, but mixed in with other species like hawthorn and birch. I'm going to take a little artistic liberty with the stem diameter of trees. Now we make trees, lots of trees. I'm making my first trees in a flat world so I can use them again. If I want to use them in a survival world or for another project later, I've got them all there. And it will probably help me plotting the canopies together later. made some trees from the studies and plotted the rough location of some of the trees. We have no location data for most of these trees, so it's mostly guesswork. But if we look top down at the maps, we can kind of guesstimate. We can also use the heights to do something with location using gradients. So if we know the height is sort of 30 meters here and 28 meters there, we can work around that to help us pick the right tree for the place. We can also look at the branches. If they've got lots of branches growing down the side, that means it's indicative of them being on the edge of the woodland or on the side, or at least near a clearing. Because if the sun can get to the ground, then the light will get there, then the tree will grow branches there.